What's up, guys? This is Storm, and welcome to another episode of the Gaming News Roundup. A lot of stuff had happened over the week, so without delay, let's cover what's been going on in the gaming news. Marvel Rivals has showcased when Season 3 is going to start on July 11th. That's going to be focusing on Null, the god of the symbiotes, and some pretty cool skins that become for certain characters that are going to be symbiote based. Spider-Man going to have his black suit. We got Storm, we got Squirrel Girl, we got Jeff the Shark, we got Rocket Raccoon, and I believe some other characters also. But not only that, we also begin 2 new heroes joining the roster. We get in Jean Grey with the power of the Phoenix Force, and Blade, who have been heavily requested ever since Season 2. Because it's kind of funny that he wasn't in Season 2 during the... no, not Season... Technically, no, it's not Season 2. Season 1, when it was dealing with Dracula. Was it Season 1 and Season 2 was Dracula? But anyway, it was kind of surprised he was not in the roster during that. But going off the lore, he and Ryder Tosca was trying to take on Blade to stop the Endless Night, but unfortunately they got defeated and was ended up being captured. But when Season 2 came around, which was the whole what season was that? Was it the Hellfire Gala? Blade was recovering, and then we had Season 2.5 that started on May 30th. Blade have awakened, and now for the next season, for Season 3, he is going to be joining the roster. I believe he's coming out after Jean Grey, because I think Jean Grey is first. And we're also going to have some Phoenix Force themed skins for some characters, because I believe there's one for Emma if you're in the... You hit Diamond in the competitive rank lobby, and we also have... I believe there's one for Wolverine, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited for Season 3. A lot of people like the whole symbiote aspect, so... This most likely will be a pretty good season. I'm definitely gonna get the battle pass for it when it comes out. Side Games have announced that Granblue Fantasy Relink have sold over 2 million copies, which is a pretty good milestone for them, especially how long this game was in development for. I believe the game is still currently on PS4, is there a PS5 version? I don't think there's a PS5 version, but you can play it. You can still play it as a PS4 version, I believe. And also on PC. So kudos to Side Game that Granblue Fantasy Relinks hit over 2 million sold. I strongly suggest if you haven't played it, I truly recommend the game. It definitely is fun, especially when you got like a squad that you could play with friends and stuff. The combat is pretty fun. A lot of characters that you could choose from, and overall, I think the story was pretty good also. So if you have not played Granblue Fantasy Relink, it's a strong recommended to give it a try. This news took everybody by surprise about the announcement of Helldivers 2 is coming to the Xbox Series X and S on August 26th, which is funny enough the same day that Gears of War Reload is set to launch also. Now, this caused quite a stir in the gaming community, especially for users on the PlayStation. Now they're thinking, is Sony PlayStation is going to become a third-party publisher just like Xbox. If you don't know, Xbox have pretty much almost grabbed every single publisher in the industry. Well, not everyone, but the big hitters, like the biggest ones like EA, Activision, no, not EA, like Activision, Blizzard, and ZeniMax, Bethesda. So a lot of people are concerned that if PlayStation do this, this would devalue their platform, thus resulting lower consoles being sold. Because when Xbox started putting their games on PlayStation, PC, and at some point could also go on Nintendo, they devalue their console because why would people buy an Xbox if they could play the games that they're putting out on PlayStation? And a lot of people fear when it comes to PlayStation, they're following the same steps as Xbox. Because if that's the case, then what would be the point in people buying a PlayStation if they could get the same games on Xbox? Because the whole thing started when Xbox said it was only going to be 4 games, which turned out to be more than 4. PlayStation is publishing Helldivers 2 on Xbox, and their Nixies that PlayStation own is porting it to the Xbox. So it kind of makes you wonder, is PlayStation is going to do the same thing what Xbox is doing? Of course, we can say time will tell what PlayStation got planned, but this is the same situation that Xbox put themselves in. Because, like, for example, if Helldivers 2 sells well on Xbox, will this push PlayStation to do a lot more? And of course, some people brought up a comment that Herman Holtz said that we should not be surprised about this because this was somewhat said already, that they was gonna port like their multiplayer games to other platforms after a certain time, and their single player games, that all depends on certain stuff. When it comes to multiplayer games, is no doubt those are going to get put on other platforms. Their single player games is a wait and see approach. So now people are saying like, basically, people in the Xbox community make jokes like, "Oh, soon they're gonna get Spider-Man, Gran Turismo, God of War be ported to their preferred platform," and some people are saying like they should do away with the exclusive all in general. The ones who I see say that, I don't believe they're genuine about that, because at some point they do care about exclusive. They're just trying to be that one group, be like, "Oh, we don't care about exclusive." Deep down they probably still do, but they just want to be part of the conversation. Like, if they don't care about exclusives, that's perfectly fine. But basically, I'm just saying, like, you say you don't like exclusive now, I better not hear you cap for another platform that have exclusive. Because in the end, if it's people are probably just gonna go with PC. Because you really think about it, Nintendo is the only one of the big 3 that still does traditional exclusives. Because where can you play where you can play Mario Kart, where can you play Donkey Kong, where can you play Pokemon in legal sense? Only on Nintendo. You only can play them legally on Nintendo platforms. But where do I stand on this? I personally don't really care. Like, why be upset if this devalued the PlayStation platform? Yeah, because PlayStation is where I play my games on. If in the future this results in a no more PlayStation console, I'm gonna be mad about that. But as of right now, I personally don't care, because in the end, I'm still getting the games that I want to play. Like, even right now, I have like 7 games pre-order that's coming out this year, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get time to play all of them from start to finish and make content out of it. Because there's I'm gonna try out Gears of War for the first time. There's Mafia: The Old Country, Lost Soul Aside, Ghost of Yotei, Digimon, Daemon X Machina, Sonic Racing. Like, those are games I'm gonna be playing when those games releases. So, and I am gonna get Death Stranding 2, but I still want to finish Death Stranding 1. And any future game that coming out on the PlayStation, I'm gonna be there day one. As long as they're still giving me games that I'm looking forward to, the D value of the console will hurt in the long run, but I'm still getting the games that I want. And like I said, if the result of this cause like PlayStation sales to stagnate because of it, then I will be mad about that. As of right now, I'm not mad. Like, even the CEO for Arrowhead said like they're not putting Helldivers 2 on Game Pass. Like, shoot, Helldivers 2 is not even on PlayStation Plus, so why the hell would they put it on Game Pass? And yeah, of course, Sony may own the IP of Helldivers. Arrowhead is still a third. Well, matter of fact, would Arrowhead consider to be a second or third party? I think maybe second party, but either way, Sony doesn't own them. Sony doesn't own them, so it's more than likely, like a deal between Arrowhead and PlayStation had to been made. Like, because Helldivers 2 came out 2 years ago. So a deal had to be made between them. Say like, hey, we'll make Helldivers 2, but we want it on more platforms. So when Sony had it on PC, they probably had it that there's gonna be like a 2-year exclusive deal that they can't put on other platforms. And Sony said they'll publish the game, so for all we know, it could be some type of deal, but at the same time, it could not, since a Sony-owned studio is doing the port and Sony is publishing it. Because it's different when Hotshot Golf and another PlayStation-owned IP is going to the Switch, but Bandai Namco is the publisher. And the whole thing with Lego Horizon going on the Nintendo Switch. Like it's the same conversation that goes on every single time. When a game that's on PlayStation goes to another platform, it starts the whole conversation all over again. People are saying like, oh, watch, Sony go third party. Just you wait and see. Just you wait and see. It's gonna go third party. And it's like, it's exhausting having the same conversation. Okay, it's like the same thing with Xbox. Like, there's not a lot of conversation when it comes to Xbox, because we already know their games, it could be at some point coming to another platform. It's just a matter of when is it going to happen. Like, shoot, people still believe like at some point PlayStation gonna raise their game to $80, because if the other two did it, PlayStation is most likely gonna do it also. It's just a matter of time when. So when PlayStation do it, there should be no conversation about it, because we already know it. We already knew it was gonna happen. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. So it's just the same boring conversation over and over again. And hopefully this just become the norm and we'll just have a better conversation, because as right now, when it comes to conversation, when it comes to gaming, it just, you can never have a proper conversation when it comes to gaming, especially on social media, because it just, some people would just be willfully ignorant of what you're trying to say, or just put out false information, which derails the whole conversation altogether. Because if you're not gonna get my point, there's no point of talking, because you already, in your mind, you already have what you're thinking. No matter what I say is gonna change your opinion, and that's perfectly fine. If you feel that way, you want to stand on that hill, but don't. The thing I just hate the most: don't willfully spread misinformation for the people who not in tune with this game and stuff, because that's just a bad faith argument, and you just make everybody else who was in the gaming community, especially journalists, look bad. Neil Druckmann, the head of Naughty Dog, had put out a statement. The statement reads, "To our Naughty Dog community, we want to let you know that studio head Neil Druckmann delivered the following message to our team this morning. I made the difficult decision to step away from the creative involvement in The Last of Us on HBO. With work completed on Season 2 and before any meaningful work starts on Season 3, now is the right time for me to transition my complete focus to Naughty Dog and its future projects, including writing and directing our exciting new game, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, along with my responsibilities as studio head and head of creative. Co-creating the show has been a career highlight. It's been an honor to work alongside Craig Mazin to executive producer, direct, and write on the last 2 seasons. I'm deeply thankful for the thoughtful approach and dedication the talented cast and crew took to adapting The Last of Us Part 1 and continued adaptation of The Last of Us Part 2. So, at first I thought this message was saying that Neil Druckmann was leaving Naughty Dog, but no, that's not the case. He is leaving the creative team at HBO that was making the Last of Us TV show, so he could focus on Naughty Dog itself with their new projects that they got coming up. Like he mentioned, Intergalactic: The Heretic Prophet, and some unknown projects which some people probably believe it is The Last of Us Part 3. I honestly don't believe that, honestly, but we just gotta wait and see. And this is all good news. A lot of people are happy about this because, like, the HBO show of The Last of Us is a good show, but they want Naughty Dog to go back to focus on their games, and this possibly could hint at the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet is farther along in development now that Neil Druckmann is going full hands deck on it now. His team was probably working on the mocap animation, gameplay, stuff like that, but now he's gonna be solely focusing on the writing and directing of it now. So they probably have some stuff probably put together for the game. We'll probably see it again at a surprise event or Jeff Keighley Game Awards, because that was the first time we saw the Intergalactic. So overall, good news. A lot of people are happy about it. I'm happy also. And I can't wait to see when we'll eventually get a new look of the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. Hopefully the next time we see it is actual gameplay, like how it's going to be, because this game is a drastic change from games like the Uncharted and The Last of Us. Since by the looks of it, it's going to be melee focused, and there was some type of rumor that it would have like RPG aspects, which does sound pretty interesting. And I'm kind of curious how it's going to, like, where it's going to go. So, hopefully, we'll see more of it soon. I saw somebody. There's like rumors going around on the release when it could possibly release. I saw some say probably 2027 or 2026. It's either said it was gonna be late 2026 or early 2027, because there was an article that came out said the Intergalactic Heritage Prophet won't come out until like the 2027 the earliest. And I believe when it was revealed at the Game Awards, it was said this game was in development since was it like 2021 this game was being worked on, so 4 years. I could be wrong about that. It's either 2021 or 2022 they said, because The Last of Us Part 2 came out in 2021. So 2027 seems like the average time frame a game would release. But once again, I'm excited for it and can't wait to see more. According to a LinkedIn discovery, an employee at Insomniac have shown an update to his resume on LinkedIn that shows that Insomniac is working on 3 games, which we all know one of them is Wolverine. And according to Naji Jeter and Yuri Lonto, who was asked a question about these but didn't go into detail about Spider-Man 3 that is being worked on. But what could the third project potentially be? A lot of people are assuming that it is the rumored Venom game that was leaked like a while back during the whole Insomniac data breach situation, that shows a Venom standalone game that's being worked on. And somebody who's supposedly a tier 6 basically insider when it comes to certain stuff, apparently he gives out information that could potentially be happening, but none of his stuff ever been proven, or he never showed actual proof of it. So take what he says with a grain of salt. He said that the third game is the Venom game, and he said it's bigger than the Miles Morales standalone game, but smaller than Marvel Spider-Man 2. So I honestly don't know. Like, if it turns out it is the Venom game, that's pretty cool, because supposedly it's set to come out next year. And honestly, if the Venom game was a true thing, I think we would have seen something about it by now. But lately, PlayStation had been moving differently when it comes to their game announcements. Ever since after Wolverine got announced and stuff, and a couple of stuff happened along the way, they want to do stuff differently when it comes to announcing a game. They want to officially announce a game when the game is 100% confirmed that it's going to release in that time frame without no hiccups. So if this game is set to release 2026, I guess we could probably see it be announced by the end of this year and given a proper date, because the Insomniac website shows the games that they worked on and what they're currently working on. On their website, they show Ratchet Clank Rift Apart, Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 2, and they show Wolverine that's in development for the PS5. So, I guess until we know for sure what could this potential third game is, and if the release date is to believe to be a 2026, just take it with a grain of salt until we get a 100% confirmation. Because even for me, I'm still finding it hard to believe that the Venom game is real. Just because the leak said it was something that they were currently working on. It just the thing is, everybody seeming to forget that Insomniac said like the stuff in that leak is old stuff. So maybe Venom was an idea at some point, but then they decide to like not like just to scrap it. But like I said, it could be real, it could be not. I'm waiting to see more. I'm not gonna fly out. Uh, I'm not gonna flat out be excited for a game that I don't even know even exists. And it turns out to be true. Sweet, be there day one. Like fuck it. A standalone Venom game. Let's do it. Have it be a tie-in for Spider-Man 3. Yep, here we go. I am ready. But like I said till then, I am gonna keep watch if any of this news is a concrete evidence. I'll keep looking out for that. But until then, take it with a grain of salt. PlayStation has scored a console exclusive deal with the developers of Where Winds Meet. That is a wuxia open world action adventure RPG game. They made a exclusive 6 months deal with it. So if you're planning to play this game on a console, you can only play it on the PS5. The game will be available on PC and mobile, but for console, only on the PS5 for a total of 6 months. So if you're willing to wait the 6 months, or unfortunately you cannot wait for that 6 months, and you have a PS5, there you go. And I'm honestly surprised about it. Okay, I didn't think Sony would get a deal like that, but we have been noticing that Sony is heavily pushing to other regions in the world. Like they have the India Hero project, they got their China Hero project. Their latest state of play was Japanese developed game Focus. Like Sony Sony is definitely pushing the PlayStation to a wider range of audience, which is really good and stuff. And to be on the Eastern market when it comes to games, they've been killing it. They've been killing it, honestly. Like with the whole Where Winds Meet, Black Myth Wukong, from the China Hero Prior, we're getting Lost Soul Aside, Silent Hill F. Like it's been going crazy, and it's truly awesome to see that countries that you would never heard of the type of games they make are getting a shine and stuff. So I am definitely looking forward what else we're gonna get, because the Chinese market with their games is going crazy. And one of them I'm excited to hear more about, that was revealed at the China Hero Project, and it's called Godslayer. So I'm truly looking forward to that. I believe they said that game ain't coming out to like I believe it was 2027 that they said it was gonna come out. Let me think. I'm looking it up right now because I remember it was said. Alright, they said the game is currently set for 2027. Alright, we are 2 years from that. So the fact that this game was shown off at the Shining Hero Project with screenshots in 2023, and they said like we have a set date to release it in 2027. Awesome. So more than likely, they might appear again at the next China Hero Project event. Hopefully, they will make another appearance there and give us like a latest update what they got cooking. Because I looking at the screenshot, not the screenshot, the concept arts of the game and how they described it is. It sounds something that is up my alley. So I am truly excited for it. That is something I've been waiting for Lost Soul Aside for the longest. So Godslayer will probably be my most anticipated game from the Chinese market. EA has announced they are officially shutting down Anthem. Anthem will be entirely unplayable starting next year. So, this is honestly surprising that the servers for Anthem was still going on, even though how much it failed at launch. Like, even before launch, some of the team was leaving stuff, which should have been a red flag from the start and all that. Anthem had a crazy development, thinking after it was revealed it was going to launch that same year, then they delayed it. Then we got this crap what came out. The game originally came out in 2019, and oh my gosh, I was so excited for Anthem, how it looked. Like, that game had me thinking I was gonna be feeling like freaking Iron Man, and look how it turned out. It would have been a fun game if it was working the way it should have been. I did a whole live stream of the game, and you look at it, you can tell the game was looking hella bad. It was buggy. I believe at some point the final battle I did, it was not the best looking. The story was a mess. And overall, Anthem didn't live up to what we thought that we hoped it would be. And that is sad. I was extremely looking for the game. I thought the game was going to be awesome. I thought it was going to be fun. And don't get me wrong, it had its fun moments, flying around with friends, blowing crap up and all that. But it just wasn't was advertised for. So it's unfortunate that this game is it turned out the way it did. That's all I can say. Which is not surprising, because apparently there's some information that came out that Battlefield 6, the next game that EA is making, is going to cost $400 million. So you can only imagine how EA is going to feel if that next Battlefield game does not work out the way it does. Especially they're hoping for a total of let me see right here. I know I have it right here. Yeah. EA goal is to have over 100 million players. A few of their devs believe that's achievable. A very few. But the game will have free-to-play modes, including Battle Royale, and being planned to help hit that target. So they're going to give you free modes, including the Battle Royale, hoping to achieve that goal. And the most player that a Battlefield game had ever had was probably 30 million. So the fact they tried to hit 100 million with Battlefield 6, that's a high goal to achieve. I would at least set at least 50 million. Like, try to make it like realistic number. They try to get that Call of Duty numbers, and matter of fact, Battlefield probably could have hit it because like judging how Call of Duty be throwing out their games and they get like crazy player numbers, like shit. Maybe Battlefield can do it, but we just gotta wait and see. Some people did play the alpha build of the Battlefield, and people are liking what they're seeing. It just comes down to how EA is going to manage it in the end. The game may look good, may play good, but when it comes to the upper management, it only takes one bad decision for that game for it to just fall apart. And we've seen it happen time and time again. It's just a never-ending story at this point when it comes to the gaming industry. Alright, this is going to be the last bit of news to wrap up the video, and it's a very big one. This kicked off a whole bunch of shitstorm, but Xbox has announced they have laid off 9,000 people, not just from their gaming division, but across Microsoft itself. But 9,000. I saw this first from Jason Schreier, and this is what he said. Breaking: the new MMO RPG project from ZeniMax Online Studios, maker of Elder Scrolls Online, has been cancelled as part of the Xbox layoff. Sources tell Bloomberg News the project, codenamed Blackbird, had been in development since 2018. Still more news to come this morning. This was from 8:05 in the morning. And this started a whole bunch of crap that was happening when it came to Xbox. They had people laying off left and right. And that was not the only game that was canceled. It turns out the game that was being made by Rare got hit with layoffs. The game is canceled. But a lot of people believe that this game was going to get canceled anyway, because I saw people say this game was in the works for 11 years. I was like, ain't no way. Because apparently this game was in the works since like 2015 or something like that. No, 2014. Then at some point, I think it was 2018, 2019. I believe at the Game Awards, it was talked about. Then 2020 we got like a trailer of Everwild. 2021 it was a report came out that the developers did not know what the game was even about. It came out like that. Then they restarted the development of the game. Haven't heard nothing since. Then out of nowhere, game is canceled. I was like, yo, it was crazy to hear that. Like, I don't know if there was actual people looking forward to it, but it started off a whole thing that people were saying like, yo, give Rare back to Nintendo. People were saying that. They like, give Rare back to Nintendo, because apparently only Nintendo know how to use them. So that's sort of a whole nother thing. And what made it worse, that Phil Spencer gave a statement for the whole layoffs. This is what he said. This comes from Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley posted a quote from Phil Spencer. He said, "To position gaming for enduring success and allow us to focus on strategic growth areas, we will end/decrease work in certain areas of the business and follow Microsoft's lead in removing layers of management to increase agility and effectiveness." Phil Spencer note today. A lot of people said this was a tone-deaf quote. This is a tone-deaf statement. And it gets even worse from there. It turns out somebody who's been at Rare for 35 years, the director of Banjo-Kazooie and Sea of Thieves, director Greg Malis, is leaving Rare after 35 years. Considered the studio's most experienced and influential game designer, he was at the company since 1990. I was not even born yet. He's been in this business for that long, and it doesn't stop there. Apparently, the Xbox user research team has also been hit with layoffs. Nearly 50% of them got laid off. And it said the team is considered a key group that focuses on ensuring quality across Xbox games, the platform, and developer tools. Really. And it gets even worse from there. Forza Motorsport has been cancelled. That IP is cancelled now. Following Xbox layoffs, according to former employees, Turn 10 Studio is expected to focus entirely on the Forza Horizon series. And this one is funny because a lot of people said that Forza Motorsport was the killer to Gran Turismo. Because Forza Horizon is the arcade racer and stuff, and Forza Motorsport is that sim racer. The ones that you get a whole entire driving station with the wheel, the pedals, all that jazz. Like a true aficionado when it comes to these motor rally, like these true racers that want the experience of driving an actual Grand Prix race car in their home. And now the whole IP is gone. They're only going to be focusing on Forza Horizon, which is crazy to think about. And apparently it was said that the layoff worker, this was a statement from an Xbox exec. It said layoff workers should use AI to manage their emotions. Apparently people believe these whole layoffs is the result of them shifting to more AI uses to just for them to use more AI when it comes to game development. And that is crazy work. Crazy work. And one of their biggest games that was shown off last year at their Xbox showcase that I had a lot of people excited for, Perfect Dark, is canceled. They are shutting down the initial team, which article said was the quadruple A studio. And we should have known something was going on with this game. It was not in the best light because Microsoft had to get a whole other studio team that they don't even own to help them with Perfect Dark, and that was Crystal Dynamics. And Joanna Dark, the actor fans to call for Perfect Dark to be saved, as Adam Jensen, actor, details financial loss due to the cancellation. And this is sad to hear. And of course, people say Microsoft is a $1 trillion company. Why they need to do layoff? They own Call of Duty. Shoot, not even Call of Duty safe. Because apparently, it says today Xbox layoffs are also impacting Call of Duty studios. Layoffs are still going, but Sledgehammer Games and Raven Software has been affected so far. Sources say, also reported by Insider Gaming. So, even Call of Duty, which a lot of people will tell you, prints money, got hit with layoffs also. And of course, I tell you about the ZeniMax MMORPG that got canceled. And the funny thing is, I saw people said earlier this year, somebody asked Phil Spencer what game that he was looking forward to play. He said Everwild. He said it was looking good. Shit got canceled. What is going on here? And of course, there was like a rumor saying that Phil Spencer was going to retire after when the next gen Xbox release, but that turned out to be debunked by Microsoft themselves, saying that Phil Spencer is not going anywhere. A lot of people say he needs to go the fuck somewhere else because this is just bad. Because how this happen? it's so mind-boggling that this is happening. They lost Motorsport, they lost Everwild, they lost Perfect Dark. What other game is also on the chopping block? Because is State of Decay 3 is on the chopping block? Like Gear 6, if that's even a thing at this point, because they doing Gears EA, which is the start of the whole Gears franchise. But either way, this is bad for Xbox. People are wondering what the hell is going on over there. And you could say, and a lot of people had the mindset, they were honestly doing good. They were in a better position than PlayStation. PlayStation keeping their cards close to their chest of what games are coming out and such. And people were saying like, instead of making, people were making jokes saying PlayStation should be focusing on games instead of do all these collaboration. I saw that tweet from Tom Henderson. And look what happened. Microsoft shut down 3 games, probably more we don't know about yet. Shut down The Initiative, a studio that they built from the ground up. And apparently even Halo Studios got hit. I don't know if there's more layoff announcements that are coming, but I have a feeling they will, and I'm gonna keep a close eye on that. But honestly, that's all I have to say. I'm not an Xbox gamer, so I don't have that much to say, but this is bad. And what do you guys think? Is this bad look for Xbox? Were these games that you were looking forward to? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and enjoy your summer. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.